Well, hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Kristen, and you're watching Things with Faces. Thank you for joining me. This is part 2 of my studio series, and today I want to walk you through my whole process of figuring out what type of furniture and decor and all the fun things to set up the studio and get this space functioning so that I can actually use the space for what it was intended for, and that's working on Things with Faces. So if you're just new to this channel, welcome. If you want to head back to maybe part 1 and check that out, you'll see me the beginning of this whole little journey here of setting up my studio. Intentions are for it. As a quick recap, I felt like I needed to set up a space designated for my art business, and I just was feeling very conflicted between the room next door where I have, I work from home part of the time with my day job as a graphic designer. And I was just finding it very difficult to focus because I feel like when I'm working, I'm thinking about personal projects and vice versa. So I really wanted to dive in to, really lean into this whole process and getting my space situated strictly for Things with Faces and creative work for my personal self. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the process to measure my bedroom and figure out all the specs. I have a better idea of like what I'm actually working with in this space, right? So I'm going to start off by doing that, and then I'm probably going to do like some quick sketches and ideas of, possibilities of what I would like it to look like. I'm going to be going to IKEA and setting up, pulling furniture from there, and so that I can actually set up the space so that the furniture actually fits the space instead of me trying to, buy additional things that, wouldn't necessarily, I don't think, would work well or set up well. I really want to maximize the space and be more intentional with the types of furniture that I'm buying and purchasing, because I'm really looking at this as an investment, for my business. And I guess that's the mindset that I want to, set the tone for. And I'm just really excited to really dive in and get the space set up so that it's functioning the way that I need it to. So yeah, let's get going. So I got my measurements kind of put together, and I kind of laid it out haphazardly. I have a couple little doodles of just a little bit of an idea of just the measurements of the room. And then from there, I kind of took it even, a step further and kind of was sketching out some possible like layout ideas and was looking up a little bit of the measurements of like some of the furniture of possibilities of what I'm going to do in the space. And I already kind of have some idea of maybe some pieces of furniture. Some areas I know I'm not going to have 100% of this done, through this whole process, and that's fine. But this is kind of what I'm coming up with for the main wall. I'm thinking having like essentially 2 large desks, and there's going to be a spot where like this is actually going to come out. I know it's a little bit difficult, but I know what I'm kind of looking for. But this is my idea, and I wanted to get some floating shelves for the top so that I can, put some my books and inspiration, and then, maybe get some frames to put some artwork in them or design something specifically for that. So we'll see. But this was kind of the idea, the layout that I have. But I already have one of these drawers. I'm thinking this side is going to be where I'm going to do more of my traditional work. And then I think this side is going to be more of the digital side as far as, where I'm doing video editing and maybe working on my iPad, doing some drawing. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure obviously it's like can be whatever I want it to be at this point, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think this is going to be a really great kind of compromise because, the best of both worlds. Like, I like to do traditional work, but I also, as a graphic designer, love digital work as well. I just really want to maximize this space. And so, yeah, I think this is what I'm going to do. Well, with that being said, now that I have my measurements and I have an idea of what I want to purchase, let's head out because I really want to get the furniture and, get this studio set up as soon as possible, because the sooner I get it set up, the better. That means I'm going to be able to utilize it a lot faster and get on with some of my goals and my projects that I want to get to. So let's go. One thing that I can definitely say that I think is great about IKEA is that when you're putting things together, and like I said, I've got measurements for my space, but the best thing I think is that you can actually save the pieces to like a specific cart or like a folder. So as you're building this, you can figure out which pieces, that you're actually going to want. And then if you are deciding to whether purchase online, or you decide that you want to purchase, if you actually want to go to the store and purchase it, you can easily do that. And definitely, like, honestly, printing this out was like such a game changer, being able to go to the store and figure it out. And what's even great is that they give it will tell you like where the pickup location is. So if you don't even want to go through the marketplace, you could either go through the marketplace and check out how their furniture is set up in different spots to get inspiration. In my case, I already felt like, I did my measurements and get everything set up. So, now that I've actually gone to IKEA, this is amazing that I could bring a printout, or, especially with younger demographic or younger people, you can just look at it on your phone as well and save things to your cart or your folder so that you have a reference to go back to. And I will just say, doing this was like, makes things so much easier to figure out. And it could be, otherwise I would have had analysis paralysis and would have probably never gotten out of the store. I mean, I still went in there and spent a couple hours, and I'm telling you, like, you probably could spend all day in there. But I would highly recommend, if you're doing the same thing or have an idea, maybe not for a studio, but if you're thinking that you're looking for a designated space on a budget, IKEA is a great place to go as a starting point. And then, yes, definitely do the list. That is very, very helpful. So, and I even, labeled it, TWF, Things with Faces Studio. So, but yes, this was definitely a game changer. I think I definitely did some damage with the amount of money that I spent to set up this room. Not too shabby. Just giving you a little bit of a sneak peek of some of the final pieces that I had purchased. Got a couple of extra brackets here. And I think it's pretty hilarious that this actually tells you throw these extra pieces and hardware in the trash. Like, why wouldn't they just not include it? I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this episode brought you maybe a little bit of inspiration, or gave you a little bit of idea or spark to do something similar at home. Yeah, I really hope that maybe it gave you a little bit of insight or some help to kind of give you a little push in your own space. I know, like I said, this has been a long time coming, and it's always been an analysis paralysis for me, like trying to make this decision. But I think I was kind of putting myself on a timeline, and for me, setting up this video and taking you along for the journey, I think is actually helped giving me that extra push and a little bit of confidence to do it myself. Yeah, I hope everything that I shared maybe gave you a little bit of insight and maybe broke things down into some steps, actionable steps actually, that will help you, push you forward as well. I would love nothing more if there was something that you really enjoyed, see more of in the future as far as videos goes. Let me know in the comments below. Or let me know what was your favorite part about this video, or even the last one. If you haven't seen part 1 to the series, go check that out. But I am so glad you were able to join me today. And again, thank you so much. I appreciate you every single time. All right, bye.